Today on a Commonly Good MTG, we're playing Viper Sacrifice, which is a RAKDOS deck, meaning black and red, that is focused on Rottenmouth Viper. Now, there's a bunch of sacrifice in here, but not forcing your opponent to sacrifice, but mostly you're going to sacrifice. Why? To pay for the Rottenmouth Viper. If that sounds good to you, then stay tuned to find out more. Hello and welcome to a Commonly Good MTG. I'm your host, and remember, you can trust me. I'm a trained professional. Dr. You Can't Suck It. Yes, thank you. Film before a live studio audience. Thank you so much. You Can't Suck It. Word to your mama. So I'm broadcasting to you today from my secret underground headquarters, and I'm bringing to you a deck I found over on the Aether Hub, posted by a poor planeswalker called RAKDOS Viper Sacrifice. RAKDOS Viper Sacrifice. Yeah, so I saw that, and I thought, ooh, I like anything that has the word Viper in it right now. And then when I opened it up, you know what else I saw? Urabrask Forge. I'm like, ooh, we're playing with Urabrask Forge and Viper. And then I figured out what the sacrifice is. It's all about sacrificing things like a forgeling so you can get Rottenmouth Viper out early. And early is great. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the cards of this deck. We'll talk a little bit how it should work. And then we're going to go out and we're going to crush some hopes and dreams. What do we got going on here today? We got something that whenever one or more creatures you control die, you create a food token. These guys die a lot, and that creates a food token, which then you can sacrifice to do things with. And we'll take a look at those things. This guy, he comes out. When he comes out, he puts a roll token on something, which you can then sacrifice for reasons, right? This comes out, puts out a dude, and puts out a little enchantment, which are useful, but you can also sacrifice them. Nowhere to run, forces them to, you put -3/-3 on something, and gets rid of hexproof and ward on creatures you don't control. But also you can sacrifice it. Bit of reunion. You can discard a card to draw 2 cards. You can then sacrifice it later on to gain haste, or just sacrifice it because you feel like it for other reasons, which we will talk about later. Chainsaw does 3 points of damage when it comes into play to one target creature. And whenever a creature dies, you put a rev counter on it. Vroom. And then when you equip it on something, it gets +1/+0, equal number of rev counters. FOMO. You know, once you get up to Delirium, which you have to have 4 more different card types in your graveyard, then whenever it attacks, after this phase, whenever this attacks, so the first time each turn, you create an additional combat phase secondly. So he's kind of got to get that Delirium thing, but he also then helps you when you discard a card and you draw a card when he comes into play. We got a little bit of something going on there. Lord Skitter puts out a rat baby every turn, and whenever a rat hits the battlefield on your behalf, you also get to exile something out of graveyards, which is great if you're going up against a Reanimator deck right now. Preacher, he either puts out a lifelinky vampire, or he'll help draw cards for you, so we got a nice amount of card draw in here. This guy puts out a baby every turn that you have to sacrifice at the end of the turn. Alesha, whenever it attacks, you put a Popo counter on it, and at the beginning of your end step, if you attacked, she doesn't have to attack, you just have to attack at all, which is what Urabrask Forge is for. You return target creature card with mana value less than or equal to Alesha's power from your graveyard to the battlefield, so she will reanimate stuff. During Courage, gives anything that hits the battlefield +2/+0 in haste, and if it were die, it comes back as an enchantment that continues to provide its ability. And lastly, the Rottenmouth Viper, that when it enters the battlefield or attacks, it gets a counter on it. And whenever it enters or attacks, then your opponent has to give up 4 life, or discard a card, or sacrifice a non-land permanent of their decision. So basically, getting this guy out early is fantastic, unless you think that they're going to have a lot of creature kill in their hand. You might want to wait till later. But how are we going to get this guy? We're going to throw things away. What are we going to throw away? Enchantments we maybe don't care about, such as the roll counter on something that Spiteful Hexmage put out. Little tiny dudes that we don't care about, like mices or forgelings that are going to die anyway, or get rid of some of these enchantments that don't do much once they're already out there. So we have plenty of garbage we're going to be accumulating, and the Rottenmouth Viper lives off of garbage. And that's it. So what are we going to do? We're going to hit the board. We're going to be grinding people down with what we got. And then we're going to get out haste, and a hasty Rottenmouth Viper is a thing of beauty. What else is a hasty, lovely guy? Preacher Schism, Lord Skitter, Alesha. All those guys hitting the board with haste is fantastic. We got a lot of that going on. Not a lot of control in this deck. Chainsaw and nowhere to run. That's pretty much it. But with Scavenging Talent, it turned up to level 2. You could potentially mill people if you got a couple of these things out. All right, so that's it. Before we get out and do our damage, let's do as we do every night. Let's say our prayers and talk about what is best in life. Hands together. Dear Black Queen Sholdred, who dwells within the dark chambers of my heart, please hear my prayers and grant your blessings as we attempt to crush our enemies, see them driven before us, and to hear lamentations of the women. All right, playing against SweetSam. Keep it. All right, a couple of pain lands there. Still nothing to do in turn 2. What does this cost me? I guess that's all to do in turn 2. Urabrask Forge. Now we got the meter ticking at this point. All right, there's a board wipe. Don't be killing Urabrask Forge. Urabrask Forge is your friend. All right, this is probably one of the most boring play mats we got to play with here. All you can do is touch raw muscle or nerve endings. It doesn't scream or anything. All right, that's the last time you'll be able to block a Forgeling. This guy's playing 4C. So we see red appear suddenly at some point. Are you playing a Zord? Like you can have a Traxia in here at some point. You can take Urabrask Forge. All right, he let that go. So if I got haste, I don't have to worry about too much. Let's go ahead and put out Alesha. Let's pop another one of these. So I have to attack with somebody. I want haste. I want him to be sitting back there doing nothing. And I could tend in the Preacher. There we go, just like that. Do you want to block? There you go. Welcome back, my friend. Well, Alesha did a great job. Of course. We'll level 2 it. I don't know, whatever. Nothing matters here. Bam, bam. That's 8 points. Good job, Lord Skitter. See, I'm surprised we didn't see another board wipe there. I do another. Good. All right, you can choose. One guy will die. The other guys are... I got guys that will die too. Lots of guys will die from your mods. All right, he's at 6. When he comes at me, he'll put 2 dudes behind him. That's the problem. We got 20 life. That's cool. I could probably do that. Being your instep. All right, that's a problem. I need to draw a creature on this next turn is what I need to do. I could throw out the man land. That's a guy. Still only doing like 4 points or 5 points of damage out of his 6. Oh wait, no, we'll get another mouse. We'll get another rat from Lord Skitter. We still got those 2 other, moths to deal with. There's Atraxia. Nothing. All right, cool. Ooh, I should blow this taco stand. Let's just do it. Three, 4, 5. That's a lot of... Am I just milled them? Oh, I got 2 cards out. That's why. What's he down to? Yikes. I could mill him potentially. Super load. Make a decision. Let's get something here. Overlord of Flip It, sure. Gone. What do I do? Draw a card, discard a card? Well, that's going to happen. All right, you got lots of mana. What's he down to? 12, 10? And another one. All right, that's it. Your choice. That's your big boy right there. I see 6 otherwise. And we win. Boom, boom. Goes the room. Victory. All right, playing against Ribot. Ribot, keep. All right, let's shut up the mouse and get ourselves out a Hexmage. We don't have any snakes right in our hand, so I'm not sure if we want to build these guys out with all of their extras or not. Yeah, we're just going to plow onto this guy with the singleton. Use him as a sink. There we go. Victory! And we're playing against McSpanky. McSpanky. Alright, 2 mana, no red. Let's see if we make this happen. Boing, 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 boing. Just gotta get ourselves a red mana soonish. There we go. Got 2 FOMOs. Ooh, we lost a lot there. Lost a lot. That was 2 mana potentially towards a snake. Alright, 3. Let's go ahead and Urabrask Forge it. Getting our stuff for sacrificing to get our snake out. I have 4. Let's just take in, what do we got here? No tax, that's cool. We're going to play this out. 1 and 2. Sacrifice. What you giving up, yo? I know what it is. It's your life. Oh, you're giving up cards. Beza is not for you. Beza is one of those cards that's not good unless you are losing. What's the point in that, right? We'll FOMO a little bit. Not that we're anywhere close to having enough. Let's just get rid of that. Got one thing in there. All right, great. All right, suck it, suckerfish. You gonna give up a couple treasures? Yeah, you gotta give up 2 things. Double life kill. Nope. That's 1. Oh, you give your life. There we go. Oh, I might want to mill myself. That will definitely get the FOMO up to speed. All right, playing against SkullFried. SkullFried. Sounds delicious. Keep. Nothing to do for 1. Spit out a Skeletorn. You do it again. All right, there's a couple things we can go grab. Go look for our snakes, potentially. Of course, we have to kill off our skeleton first. That's the big problem. Because I'm putting out that other skeleton, I now made this so weird I couldn't do any of the things down here. Yeah, man, I don't care. I'm not gaining life. There you go. Oh, I can't do anything until later, huh? Fine, FOMO. I should have had him out, but it didn't work out. And we win. Apparently that's all it takes. Victory! All right, playing against YZF7 Steve. Let's see, what would we give up here? I'll give up Alesha. Alright, so let's get this going so at least we can get a nice little baby mouse out so that we can sacrifice it. Because there's 6 things to sacrifice to get a snake out on the next turn. Won't even have to do that though. Give something up. All right, let's go in singleton style. Looks all like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rottenmouth. Glad that Rottenmouth only costs 1 black and whatever else, you know, you can feed into it. All right, what are you giving up? Just life, huh? Good for you. And we're taking hits, and that's hardcore, man. All right, let's FOMO. Give up the land. Who do I want to steal, take out here? I could have flashed that guy out last turn or something. I don't know. Unfortunately, FOMO's not up to the point of giving me 2 times on the Rottenmouth Viper. That'd be great. All right, -1. -1. That was nice. Victory! All right, playing against Numot. Or is it Numo? I don't know. These guys are all 3. This is a slow hand. All right, opponent, who goes first? Let's go. As part of your description is going. Dare they nail me in the face so quickly? They're flashing anything? Just that guy? All right, well, cool. Yeah, I gotta wait on this one to do 3 points of damage to somebody. This I can flash in. Somebody doesn't put this out. Guy's playing a little control-y is what he's playing. That's not good. I'm gonna have to bait this guy out. Wait till he blows that Urza Silex before I put out the Rottenmouth Viper. Of course, this can take out a ton of stuff. You think I'm going to be putting out anything other than just forgelings from now on? You are sorely wrong. There he goes. FOMO. What do we get discard here? Chainsaw. Nothing good. Now, if he just wipes the board right now, that would be extraordinarily bad. But it'd be par for the course of a guy who's playing control like this guy appears to want to. I don't have to sacrifice crap. But somebody else does. It's called you. He likes his cards in his hand too much. That's not great. A hasty Rottenmouth would be a beautiful thing. I do have the ability to grant it, but it just is not coming around. Let's pump up the mouse. Yeah. All right, Danger Mike. There you go. We got another Forgeling Forest coming down upon you. Let's see if he blocks. So I got nowhere to run. Yoink, 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 yoink. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, let's do it. Sacrifice. Bow down before the Rottenmouth Viper and prepare your tribute. He's got another. I don't care, man. You don't have that much life to give up. That's the problem. You can give up your cards in your hand. You have to throw Shoulder in front of that Viper if you want to do anything to save yourselves. There you go. Now give up the Shoulder. There you go. And we win! In your face, Duffy Moon! In your face. Alright, so here we are with Viper Sacrifice, and it was a fantastic deck. One of the things, I mean, we saw this on an Orzhov version earlier, is when you play out enough like little enchantments to sort of hang around, that makes it really easy to get your Viper out early. The thing I really liked about this deck was the haste. From Enduring Courage and Urabrask Forge and Bitter Reunion. Yeah, that was really good, being able to have hasty guys or to help make your other dudes hasty. I liked Alesha in that when at the beginning of your end step, if you attack this turn, return target creature card with mana value less equal to or power from your graveyard to the battlefield. That was good. I like the fact that you didn't have to do anything. It just sort of happened automatically, provided you had enough stuff in your battlefield. FOMO was probably the one card that had the most potential that never worked out because we never had enough stuff in our graveyard. You'd think with all the sacrificing we'd be doing, it would be easy, but FOMO never got up to its full delirium level, ever. So I'm not sure I'd want to play FOMO. I'd put something else in there. I mean, FOMO seems great. You can get Rottenmouth Viper to hit twice. Ooh, that'd be great. But yet, that wasn't really something that really ever happened. The other card I didn't particularly like was Bitter Reunion. I know Bitter Reunion is supposed to help you go look for more Rottenmouth Vipers or something like that, as well as putting stuff in your graveyard. Yet, I almost didn't want to sacrifice because I loved everything that was in my hand. But still, all the cards did work. They worked very well. This was a great deck. Super fun. Let's get down to it. Who was the MVP, the most valuable player in this deck? I'm going to give it to Enduring Courage because everything in this deck was so much better with +2 and haste. Plus the fact that Enduring Courage was its own creature, was able to attack, and even after it died, it still stuck around and did awesome stuff. That's why Enduring Courage is today's most valuable player. Congratulations, Glowing Dog. You are today's MVP. All right, let's see. Was this deck competitive? Number one, yes, 82% win rate. 82. Yeah, I played this thing, let's see, 11 times, and I got an 82%. So yeah, this deck was rocking it, and it went fast a lot of times too. Most of the games I played were like under a minute practically. And it wasn't just because people were quitting. It was because this deck just beat people that quickly. So it was a great deck. 82%, very competitive deck. Number 2, was this deck fun? Yes, it was. RAKDOS, absolutely. Look at that. Lots of things in the 3 mana or less. You're able to play things within the first part of the game. Getting back Urabrask Forge and Lord Skitter out, putting out those bebes. Yeah, that was some fantastic stuff. Fantastic. So, yeah, it was a fun deck. I like the fact that Rottenmouth Viper came out early almost all the time. Turn like 3 was not difficult to put out a Rottenmouth Viper. Then you have people having to deal with it. Now they could. Rottenmouth's not hard to kill. You know, as long as you got something that's white that just destroys any creature, there's nothing to protect him. He's got no ward. So, yeah, Rottenmouth Viper, he can be killed. You're just kind of hoping that he doesn't, that your opponent doesn't have what it takes to be able to take out the Viper. Yeah, I almost kind of want to put like Zombify in here just so we can get it back from the graveyard. That would be cool. But that's maybe something for a different day. All right, so yes, this was a fun deck. Lastly, was this deck interesting? And yeah, I almost didn't play it because I thought, I've kind of seen this deck before. And I said, I kind of played this deck before. But when I look back, I played Orzhov before. It wasn't the red. I might have played a Rakdos version of Viper. It's hard to say. A while back ago, as you can see, Viper, he's been out since Bloomburrow. We've only had 2 sets since then, which was been the house one and this one. So it could be that we're seeing new cards mixed in here. I just, I don't have an encyclopedia of the decks I played in the past. It looked familiar, but I think it's because we just played the Orzhov version, and I love every other red card that's in here pretty much. I know when I was playing some sort of a weird grind deck that we had Alesha and Urabrask and Enduring Courage in there before. I almost feel like this is kind of like a smash of 2 other decks I've been playing recently smashed together. Still really good unto itself. So is this deck an interesting deck? I'm going to say yes, mostly because it's focused on, there's a lot of great synergy between the cards. Rottenmouth Viper is super cool, and it's not something strong in the synergy right now, or strong in the meta. You're not seeing it in the top 10. You're not seeing it anywhere, yet it's got an 82% win rate. So this is a fantastic deck. All right, so let's get down to it. Was this deck competitive? Absolutely. Was it fun? Yes. Was it interesting? Yeah, it was. All right, that makes it into an A+ deck. And as I'm required by federal law to say, this deck is so choice. I highly recommend you pick one up, should you have the means. All right, that's all for now. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. From all of us here in the secret underground headquarters of Uncommonly Good MTG, have a great day. See you next time, Space Cowboys. Later.